Whenever the economic winter comes, people have a reactionary mindset. It's not like they think of this when, we're in spring and in summer when everything is flourishing. Today we're going to talk about where to put money in a recession and what rich people do with their money. Once again, I talk about this all the time. You don't get a calamity bell warning when there's a knock on the door and winter comes economically. It just seemingly happens out of nowhere, right? So if we understand that and we want to be able to know where to invest during a recession, it's always important to understand what is your economic philosophy first. And that requires a lot of questions. How old are you? Where are you on the map? Where are you now? Where are you going to go? What is your job? Do you have 2 or 3 jobs? Are you an entrepreneur? And then, how were you brought up? Do you have the same traits economically as your parents or even their parents? Once you could really take this self-honest evaluation and understand what's going on, you could then begin to develop an economic philosophy, right? Once you're there, you then want to tie into your goals and objectives. That's all about how much you're going to save on a monthly basis. Is it 15? Is it 20%? Can you only save 5 or 8? If that's the case, do that. But then how do you get to 15 to 20%? Once you have goals and objectives, and once you have a personal pay yourself first savings rate, in that space, what are your core values? What is your belief systems? Are they specific? Are they general? What are the questions that you ask yourself? Are you asking yourself empowering questions like, hey, what can I learn from this? How can I improve and at the same time have a lot of fun while I'm creating income and revenues? Or are you simply saying, why is this happening to me? Now, that was a lot, but if you could do that first and build that philosophy, guess what? When recession comes, you have nothing to worry about. As a matter of fact, you'll be more liquid, you'll have money in more money markets, and when everybody is running one way, you'll be able to see very clearly what's going on the horizon and where to deploy your dollars. So in those moments, in that deployment opportunity, what will begin to happen as we get out of the recession, those will be your greatest return on assets. The money train, you hear it? Those will be your greatest opportunities. And in that space, understanding the difference between winter, spring, and summer, understanding that it starts with a philosophy first, if you do that, then you'll prevail. Now, question is, Rob, how do you do that? Well, you can't do it by yourself. Typically, whatever you've done before, if you're not going to make a trajectory change, you're going to keep getting the same old, unless you surround yourself with coaches, mentors, and accountability partners. If you could surround yourself with folks that have been there, done that, I'm not saying that they're smarter than you. I'm not saying that they're better than you. What I am saying is folks that really have a proven track record in what you're looking to accomplish. Once you begin to do that, then and only then will you be able to rise with the tide. And in that space, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, but it's always been there, your subconscious is going to attract to you all these different opportunities, and you're receptive, you're open to hear the coaching. Think of it this way. If you never had a truck before and you buy a red truck, then all of a sudden on the highway, all you're going to see is all the red trucks because you're activating part of your brain that is allowing you to take that next evolutionary step. So, recession proof is always liquid. Life insurance is a great recession-proof strategy, right? You don't want to just start it. It's a long-term plan. Nothing is immediate. If you have a long-term viewpoint of real estate, understanding the 4 different rates of return that are tied to real estate, meaning cash flow, mortgage interest write-off, depreciation of asset, and obviously you expect the asset to appreciate over time. These are good recessionary hedges, once again, if it's done with a philosophy, long-term mindset, and at the end of the day, being able to make sure that you're congruent in your approach. Because remember, in the business of finances and financial planning, the rules are constantly changing. Tax laws are constantly changing. There's new products that are coming out. And if you have 2, 3, 4 jobs and you're an entrepreneur, how can you think about or how can you focus on everything that's happening in that space? You need to have a team of professionals, not only around you, that's the first step, but they have to be congruently working together for your benefit. If that can't happen, first of all, if you don't have a team of professionals, you're not going to have an advantage. Then if you do have a team of professionals, you'll have an advantage, but you could get a bunch of disjointed opinions that aren't mixing and matching with what your philosophy is and with what your core values are. If you take that next evolutionary action step and understand they're not paying you, you're paying them, and have them connected for you for your benefit on the same page, I assure you that discipline will take you places that has never taken you before. So, once again, let's just focus on the fact that it's important to understand it's not, hey, what do I do in a recession? It's how am I prepared for when a recession comes, and how can I deploy that capital to maximize my wealth over time? Every single day we're pushing out content. Every single day we're bringing a message. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you have any comments, any questions, feel free to add right below in the commentary. One of the team members will reach out, and we will be glad to answer any questions you may have.